All right, guys. So it's First Lady V here again, and we are still talking about this 45 and flourishing, just kind of recounting and just reflecting on the past 45 years and just sharing some monumental, area of my life, some really some things that are shaping me and what actually drive and for me to do all the things that I am doing and some of the things that I wish have known earlier on, and hopefully with that you too you can be able to still apply those things, or if you're not able to use it for yourself, probably you can share with your younger people in your life and see how that can really actually shape them. So there was a part of my life, when I was still in Nigeria, actually at the time, I think yes, I was I was probably around age 13, 14, 15, thereabout. I was a stage, it was a time in my life where really I felt lonely and I did not have that much support. Actually, I believe there was a time, not I believe, there were actually a time where I was by myself for quite some time. And so from that, I began to think of surviving and thriving, maybe not even thriving, but kind of like surviving, like day to day living, you know, and that includes like feeding and go to school. It was very very challenging, but one thing that I know is that sometimes when you are at your wit end, you're able to think outside of the box. I think that is some of the lessons that we learn in life, because if certain things have not happened to you, you may not know the potential that is within you. You may not know what you are able to do. Sometimes we can limit and restrict ourselves to a certain box, but when we are faced with situation and challenges, we are able to think outside of ourselves and we are able to find answers that we are actually looking for. So that was actually the time where I began to think outside of the box of like, okay, if I need to survive, what are the means for my survival? What are the things that I need to do as a teenager living by herself at a time? What are the things that I need to do? And I share with a couple of my friends. Actually, there was an incident that happened, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want there to be a repeat of that incident. But I share with a one of my good friends, and I think it's very important to really always know those who are for you and to always have people around you. You may think they don't have anything to offer, but if you're able to open up and kind of share some of the things that you are going through with them, they'll be able to, guide you through or offer support one way or the other. And as women, I know we go through so many things, and sometimes it can be very challenging to open up because putting yourself out there, sometimes you might become a table topic, and I cannot guarantee that, people will not use your information against you, but sometimes you want to trust your gut and be able to open up to certain people for them to know what is going on with you and to see how they can help. And sometimes they may not be able to help directly, but then they can actually get somebody that can help for you. So I remember I was sharing with one of my friends of some of the difficulties of food and all of that. Like I'm open to doing things that can generate income. And at that time I was selling water, packet of water, like we call like a sachet water I was selling, but wasn't that productive, not that much coming from it. So and I told one of my friends, and she was like, I have an idea and I will introduce it to somebody. And I was like, oh, okay. Actually, she introduced me to a businesswoman. Prior to that, I have helped different business women to do things, and they will pay me, here and there. And she introduced me to this woman. And actually, this woman, she makes something similar to like a popsicle, like a ice pop that kids love. And what she does is like you take it at a wholesale, and then you go and sell it. And then when you bring it back, and then you get your commission on everything, on every sale. So it was like if you sell a dozen, let me equivalent that to like $1. That means you sell $12. If you sell $12, then you get $2 on every dozen that you sell. And being that is something that ice pop, hey, people love things like that. And I would take it and I was so blown away about how much success I had with that. And if not that, I have gone through a phase where, just to put food on the table was very challenging. I wouldn't think outside of that. I was only stuck with what I was doing. But because, what I was doing is not generating enough to sustain me, to carry me go. And she introduced me to that woman, and it was like a prayer answered. I can tell you, and I only do that on the Saturdays, mainly on the Saturdays. Before I would do Monday through Friday selling water, and I wasn't making that much. But if I do just one Saturday, sometimes I would do like 3 trips, and each of the trip I'm making about 20, like $20. I mean, 20 naira in those days, like in the 90s, was a huge amount of money. And that is where like my business instinct kind of gets started, like, okay, I need to survive. And as a woman, sometimes you will think outside of the box of like, okay, what is it that you can do to survive? And sometimes you may be really stuck on ideas, but then when you share with other people, then some ideas come. And that is one thing that I really love about the Achievers Club. That is one of the reasons why we actually started. It's like, as women, we need to come together. We need to form this bond. We need to be able to help each other. We need to be able to support one another. We need to be able to share ideas and be able to brainstorm. So that is how my business thing started from age 14, 13, and since then, like when I relocated to another state, I was still selling something. I mean, you will never see me not selling. And when I came to the United States, I started selling, and I started selling Mary Kay. And I shared that part because I can say Mary Kay actually shaped some part of me here in the United States. I love their philosophy, and I love the training that I got from there as a person of a very small body build and being in a position of power. Sometimes people kind of look down on you and not trusting that you are capable of certain things. But some of the trainings I got from there actually helped me in carrying myself, in presenting myself, of how I appear and all of that. And that really, really helped me. So I'm just kind of sharing the story to kind of know, like today, if I'm talking about business, that is, I am being wired. I think about business. I think about if this doesn't work, what else could work? And I am open. I will talk to people. I will share with people. So that is one part. But when I came into the United States, one lesson that I wish that I learned earlier, as somebody, she guided me through my career, me going to nursing school and all of that. I wish I had somebody that kind of talked to me about how money works. And I don't know if you too, you've been in that situation. I did not understand money. Honestly, I understand it. My basic of knowledge is you work, you make money, and you spend it. And not only that, because of the environment that we are in, like when you go to the store, I remember going to Macy's store just to buy a few things. And at the counter, the where I was about to pay, the lady said, "Oh, will you want to save extra 10% if you apply for this?" And I did not understand like all of those things. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I applied, and right there they granted me $300. Right there, $300. Me that came in to buy something of 20 something, 30 something dollars. Guess what? When they said I'm approved for $300, I went back into the store. I shopped more. I bought things. I mean, things that maybe I wouldn't even need. But because now I have access to this money and I don't know how to manage it, I thought, oh, why not? They've given me money. I spent that. And I went to different store. I went to JCPenney. JCPenney gave me a card. I went to Sears. Sears gave me a card. Sears is no longer anymore. Sears gave me a card, and I have all these business cards. And guess what? In the mail every single week, they will be sending, we are getting You get a newspaper with all different coupons there. This weekend is this, save 20%, save 30%. Let me tell you, that is what I use most of my Saturdays to. Because I mean, I don't even have anything to do. I will go to the store and shop sales and buy different things. Some things that were good on me, some that are not. I mean, over the time of like some things I never even used them. But because I have access to these credit cards, I will just swiping them. And these people were so good that the more you spend, the more they increase it. Before I know it, the $300 Mrs. Cat went up to $900, giving me more room to spend more. Before I know it, that $900 extended up to $3,000. And I kept buying. I kept buying. And I mean, it was just really because I did not know any better way to do certain things. And a moment came that we said, like the light bulb kind of like went off on you on certain things. Like I'm sharing that if you have younger people, that it's time to begin to talk to them how money works, some things to be so aware of, and how to they can help to structure their finances. Because for me, I have no boundaries. I just spend because yeah, but everywhere you go, they'll be asking you, save 10%. And me trying to save 10% or get $10 off right now, I would say yes. And pretty much everything I applied for, I got it. Like they were like free money until the bills will come. And know when the bills come, they will only say pay $25. You rack up a bill of $200, $300. All you have to pay is $25. Oh, come on. I mean, that was a cycle. And one day, I have become a nurse and everything, making good money. But at the same time, that thing is really still in my mind of going shopping and buying things of credit card. I would just swipe. All I do is, oh, do you have Macy's card? Yes, of course. Swipe it. As long as it goes, I am good. And I remember I went to get a car and went to get a new car, and the guy ran my and all this car. I don't even care. I don't even know what it was then. And the guys pull my record and all of that, and you look at all the credit cards. And in New York, it's in Texas, it's easy to get things. They don't even look at your pay stub. They will approve you for anything. But in New York, then you will have to provide them either 3 months of your paycheck, all of those. They have to look at your finances. They have to look at your banking statement before they approve you for car note. So I provided my pay stub, look at my bank account, all of those. And when he pulled my record, it was like, why? Honestly, it was I felt so offended. But then at the end, just going home, the thing was like, Victoria, that was actually the true. That was the truth, like just blunt truth. Because he said to me, he said, ma'am, you are making this amount of money, like this is how much is coming in. He said, but why do I have this much credit card debt? Like, initially I was like, what's your problem with that? Isn't this my life? So my credit was good, my credit, because I pay up. My credit was good. But they look at, but not like it's perfect, but my credit was good, but not like the best. Or like, if you pay this credit, you don't need all these credit cards, all these things, because you can survive on what you are making. Look at what you're making. And I was like, initially, if you look at my face, if you read my face, but it was a guy. I don't think he pay attention to my face, because like, are you kidding me? What is your problem with it? But over time, when I left that the dealer, I went home and I was thinking, there is an element of truth in what this guy was saying. Am I making this amount of money, and at the same time I have all these credit card debts? What is it that I'm buying? What do I need all this for? And it was a moment I began to caution myself, and I begin to, and at that time, because I don't have any guide. I don't have any guide to, like, okay, how should you spend, what not to spend. I didn't have any guide, but I just tried to say, you know what, Victoria, I should not be going to the store every weekend. I should only go when I need to buy something. But when I go, when I need to buy something, you see other things, we see other sales, of course. But I made it, I made an effort of not trying to go to the store for either window shopping, which I would say to myself, or because of a sale. But I was trying, but not the best because like there was no standard for me. I didn't even think too much into that. But fast forward, and they are like, and if you go to any bank at a time, if you open any bank, they will ask you if you want a credit card. Honestly, I mean, maybe they're still doing the same today, but then was they will ask you, you go to any bank at that time, credit union, whichever bank, and open a card. Most of the times, like automatic, like you get a credit card. It already comes with $500, already come with $1,000. And me thinking like, if you give me money, I should spend it. Not knowing that though you can spend, but you only spend on needs and you only spend what you can afford, and you pay up. So I only paid the minimum $25 out of maybe $500, just like that. And the thing is not moving, and all these things have a high interest rate. Some will be 18%, 20 something percent. I don't even understand what those mean, honestly. But I wish earlier on that somebody had sat me down and kind of really guided me about money, making some financial decision, like what to look for, how to have control of your finances. Because sometimes we may think we don't have enough money, but if we actually look through everything, we probably might be making enough money, but it's how we are spending it that probably we are not paying attention to the things that we purchase. We just swipe, swipe, swipe. So years later, after I've racked up like business card, like, oh, like, yeah, credit cards, I have racked them up all the way up, and loans, yeah, because they will give it to you. If I have any problem, I just go to the bank, I need a loan, they will approve you for loans. Oh my. And that was still good because these days now you can shop on your phone. But I'm just saying that if I had learned, it would have really helped me today, honestly, honestly. But it wasn't too late because I know about 5, 6, 7 years ago, I began to have control of my finances. Like I began to like really really understand and curtail myself. And sometimes I put a hard no on myself. And recent years, I have studied different people. I have read so many books. Honestly, I've read Sid Ramsey, I believe, Tiffany Alicia. Behind me here, I may not be able to show, but so many books on finances. I'm telling you, one year I read on finances, like I need to get a good grasp of money, understand how money works, understand all this FICO score, understand how credit works. And those things helps me, honestly, and still helping me. It's still a work in progress because I remember my credit was like low 500 at a time. And I began to be like, I need to get out of this mess because actually, and I wasn't even checking. I think I was trying to, I don't know what I was trying to purchase, and they denied me. And when they said something in that my credit was in the 500s, and they say I can go to annual report to do that, that's why I begin to take, have interest in looking into my finances. And I was like, I need to be dead serious about this. And I was able to pay off certain debt, call wherever I need to call. And that from low 500 to over 700, honestly. And I felt like amazing. It came down because, usually made some bad judgment, some bad choices, but then we work on improving it. And I'm sharing there, like you really want to take your finances very serious to kind of know where you are, because I always say assess where you are in relative to where you want to go, because if you don't know where you are and the factors affecting you right now, those are the factors that probably will limit you and will restrict your growth. But understanding money, which I wish somebody have told me earlier on, I would have done a better job. But those are the things that today kind of give me passion, that based on what I now know, that you know what, I have to be in a better position of handling my finances, and also be in a better position because now I have more responsibilities. Before, I mean, I don't have much responsibility. At the time I have one child, like, but now they have grown and all of that. I have more responsibilities. I have other things that I have to take care of. And I'm sharing that so that you want to actually take a look at your life and to see where your passion comes from and what is driving you. My passion comes from, number one, me being knowing that I need to survive. And even after surviving, that I need to get to the point of thriving. And how that will happen, I don't know. But what I know at the time was like doing business will help me. Honestly, even with full-time job, I always do business. I have been doing business for over 25 years. I have cooked food. I have sell something. I have asked people, like, I am, and I'm still selling. Okay, because my goal is to really have financial stability. And the other part is when I begin to have money, I don't know how to manage that. I just know that money comes, you spend. Money comes, you spend. Actually, when my first paycheck here in the United States, because I didn't even still understand money, I got that check. I went to go and cash it, because in those days when you deposit a check into your bank, it's going to take a few days. Probably maybe 2, 3 days, they will release some part of it, and then another week they will release the rest. So you don't get instant access to the money. It's like bit by bit, and direct deposit you have to wait at a time. So I remember getting my first check, and I just went into a catching store, a place where you can catch your check, and they will deduct a fee. And the check was about 100 and something dollars. I'm telling you, about 25, over 20, 21 years ago. The check was $100 and change, and let me tell you, I took the cash. I went to the store and maybe I spent to like $1 or some cent. And I forgot that the way I walk, I take train or take the bus. And for the bus, I need money, to pay for the bus to take me from my place to we are work. We are making this money. But my mind was not thinking of all those things. My mind was not thinking that you should have something on the side for the next paycheck. I mean, I got the first paycheck and I cashed it and I spent everything. I mean, like $1, a few cents. I remember actually having to borrow money, going to work. Like, it's like you just got money. So I'm sharing that because I didn't plan. I don't know how money works. I just know that though you want I want to survive, but then it's more than surviving. You have to get to a level of thriving, and it's about the little plan that you put in place, the structure that you have that help you, because you may have access to money today and tomorrow you may not have access to it. So when the money is not coming, they call it the raining days. What do you have now to shield you when the raining days come? What do you have now that will really hold you through where the funds are not coming in? So those are the things that I begin to learn. And I thank God today that I'm in a position where I'm making some better judgment when it comes to money. I'm not there, I'm not a perfect person, but those are my passion. And also using that to help women, because sometimes I find out that women multitask a lot, and sometimes you have to be responsible for certain things. I mean, and every woman is not the same. Our situation is not the same. Our background and experiences are not the same. But there are times that as a mother that you probably have you need some financial control to take out your daughter, your son, and there is something they're asking you to get, or maybe to just get $1 McDonald's, that you are able at that point to actually pay for it. That is my thing. And those are the things, like, you know what, I need to empower myself, that I don't only lean on one thing, God forbid, and also see how other women as well can have other sources of income. Because I found out women will face challenges. I've interviewed people that in their 30s, their husband passed away, not expecting at all. And probably you have seen women who have been in that situation at a very younger age, young in marriage, that their partner passed and they have children to take care of, or women that go through divorce, or women that one or two situation kind of change their lives, but it's like you being able to have something that will sustain you and will help you with your family. Because when the finances burden is off the table, every other thing you can still control. But when you have to constantly be concerned and consumed with how you're going to put the next food on your table, is a big burden and a big headache. So that is where my passion comes from in doing business, in working, in to help raise my kids, to help support my husband, to help support the ministry. We are pastors, we are people that look up to us for some support, that we are able to be in a position that we can offer some help to other people. So that is where, if you see me doing multiple things, that is where they all came from. That is my passion. All right. So thank you, thank you, thank you for everybody still celebrating me. I'm grateful to God, and I know there's still much, much more that we can do. All right, please don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, share with somebody, and if anything has inspired you, please let me know. And if you need some help, some assistance in any area, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I love you guys. God bless you. Have an amazing, amazing time. Bye bye now.